we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today? We're taxed on money when we receive it, when we spend it, when we invest it, and even when we die with it. We commute to work to make that money in a car that is taxed again to register on roads we're already taxed to build, fueled by gas that is taxed even further. And then when you get to your office that is taxed to exist, you are paid a paycheck that the corporation must match another payroll tax on top of what they have to pay you. Then you go to a home of which you are taxed to own every single year that we bought with money that the government already taxed us on. But it wasn't always like this. In fact, in 1895, the Supreme Court ruled any federal taxes against its citizens were unconstitutional. So the government did what the government does best. It protected and expanded itself by passing the 16th Amendment. Basically, the government gave us the middle finger and gave themselves the power to basically do whatever they want. People back then were more angry about that 1% tax rate than we are about our 37% tax rate today. That is the power of creeping gradualism of government that I'm always warning you guys about.
We are going to be checking out videos about taxes and why there's just so many taxation on literally almost every little thing we purchase. So it's just going to be a little rant on taxes. But before we get right into this video, I want to give a big shout out to Joseph for sending me a $20 cash app. Thank you so much for the support you show to the channel. I really appreciate you. Please make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's get right into it.
My Roman Empire is the fact that the first ever Americans got so bent out of shape that we had to pay up to 3% in taxes that they literally started their own country. And now in that very same country, we're taxed on our income, we're taxed depending on the state we live in, on our properties, on everything that we buy, on everything. It's all our money pretty much goes to taxes. And I just want to know what they would think about that.
Do you know dead people have to pay taxes? I don't know why I never thought of this, but my dad died this January in 24, and I'm having to do his tax return for 23. So when you die, somebody's going to be doing your tax return for the year you were alive. So everybody's going to be getting all in your business. Now, I don't know why I didn't think about this. I guess maybe because I was so busy as POA, like selling his house, and my sister was busy as his medical directive person, getting him from Texas up to Kansas City. Totally escaped me that he would have to file taxes for 23. You think all your business is private and you got everything under the cover? Somebody's going to get all up in your business as soon as you die, and they're going to know what you were about. Now, thankfully, my dad kept meticulous records. He had a will, and it was easy for me by looking at his other returns to kind of know where I was at. And I'm telling you, if you're sneaking out, your secrets are going to be known by the person who is going to file your return after you're gone.
So I just got a letter from the IRS, from my non-American girlies, that's the Internal Revenue Service, aka the tax collector, informing me that I owe over $20,000 in taxes and have to pay a $4,000 fine for understating my income in 2021. First of all, I'm a completely different person from the man I was in 2021, and last I checked, you can collect taxes from the deceased. But secondly, I didn't even make that much money in 2021. And as I'm reading this deranged 8-page manifesto of lies, I discovered that apparently our government is not aware of what a decimal point is, because they read $800.00 as 80 grand. So I call to figure out who had the gall, the gumption, and the audacity to employ a mathematically challenged bitch in Maryland to comb through tax documents and find out that I can submit a petition to dispute it alongside a $60 filing fee. Queen, quit the accounting career and become a comedian, because you are funny, goofy, silly even if you think I am paying a single dime for this bullshit. She goes, oh, you can fax a form to us instead. I would wrap the curly cord of my 1990s home phone around your neck if I had one. Fax? I can email you a PDF. Sincerely, best regards. Please note the attached document, passive-aggressive smiley face. So I drive to my local FedEx. Have the person behind the counter show me how to operate this World War II tank of a communication device like it's an industrial textile loom, and I'm an 8-year-old child she hired in the 1920s to crawl into the small, dangerous spaces she can't reach, putting my little 1099 in the mouth of this torture device from before the Great Recession of 2008. And this piece of technology informs me that the line I've entered is busy. You mean to tell me that the single number provided to all 300 million Americans cannot accept more than one document at a time? Anyways, 10 minutes and $7 later, I finally sent proof of my innocence to the government, but oh my God. Everyone, please write your congressmen, women, people to include Gmail or even Outlook in the federal budget. I'm sure they can afford it, considering they keep trying to steal all my money. Thank you.
The biggest issue I have is that we are taxed on everything. Purchases, services, residences, plus highly taxed on our earnings, and then often required to pay more income tax beyond what we pay. This is the exact reason why you are having people fight back against the CRA. This is the exact reason why you're having more people not file their taxes this year. And I don't think people realize that we hold all the power here, because if we stop playing their game and stop feeding into their pockets, basically, then this ends. We also have to remember, this is a government who prints money and who sends money over to fund wars so that innocent young men die for rich old a-holes. How is anybody okay with this? Okay, bye.
You know what is crazy? I actually didn't know that people were actually taxed on tips, to be honest. And when I found out, I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, even just you getting, somebody just giving you some money, like, here you go. And you have to really pay taxes for that also. And whatever you purchase with that money, you're going to be paying tax for it. Also, when I heard about like people doing small businesses like Cashapp are going to be taxed after getting like about $600 in it, you're going to be taxed for that. And it's like, oh my God, like really, that is really going to hurt people who are doing small businesses. That's why, it, maybe possibly you will be left with nothing on your paycheck. Whatever you work hard for, you won't get nothing for it because...
It's actually kind of insane that I had to pay TurboTax $200 just to figure out how much money I owe the government. There were two options on TurboTax. Pay $500, maybe $600 for assistance, or pay $200 to do it my self. I thought TurboTax was always free, as they say in their commercials. I just want to know why in the we have to pay money to figure out how much money we need to pay somebody else. Don't other countries just give you a bill at the end of the year? They're like, yep, this is how much you owe, and then you just fucking pay it. Why does our government make us play a little fucking guessing game to figure it out? It's a fucking 2-hour process to do it yourself, by yourself, paying money to do the work yourself for 2 hours straight just to find out that you owe the government $1,200. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money. And then you have to spend $200 on top of it just to do all of the work by your self, just to figure out that you owe that number to the government. Because our government loves to be in a silly, goofy mood once a year, and they're like, yeah, you owe us money, and you ask them how much, and they're like, guess how much you owe us. Do 2 hours of work. See if you get it correct. If you don't, we'll penalize you. You owe us so much more if you get it wrong. And they always phrase the questions on your taxes in the most complicated way possible that you cannot understand, just to trip you up so you fuck up your taxes so you owe the government more money. Didn't the Pentagon just fail their 6th audit in a row? I don't know about you, but if I fucked up on my taxes 6 years in a row, the government wouldn't be too kind to me. I wasn't even gonna do my taxes this year. I was gonna commit tax evasion. I didn't want to fucking do it, but my parents were up my ass sideways. You need to do your taxes. Are you gonna do your taxes today? You need to sit in the living room and do your taxes. Let us watch you do your taxes. We need to see that you did your taxes. Do your taxes, do your taxes! And so I did my taxes. Actually, my mom did them, because about 20 minutes through, I started crying profusely because I didn't understand the questions, and I apparently filled it out entirely incorrectly, and she took my laptop and did them for me. Because she can't explain how to do taxes, she just understands it. So when I move out, I'm fucked. I do not know how to complete a tax form because of the way they phrase their fucking questions. I don't understand it, and they do that shit on purpose. I want to move out of the United States so badly. I hate it here. It. Everything about it. I want to leave. I want to leave so badly, but this country likes to keep us so poor that we cannot afford to leave.
Okay, listen. I gotta complain about a very adult thing. If you don't want to hear about the gripes of somebody who is 48 with the house and property taxes, scroll by. But if you want to complain with me, stick around, because I got some things to say. Number one, my property taxes went right up. Right? Guys, listen. I was paying like 6 and now it's pushing 7. Are you crazy? You just like pop it up. There's no conversation, there's no discussion. You just, oh, I know, I'm just gonna throw it up there and let's see what Joanna's head explodes. Here's my question. When you increase my tax, do I get an increase of service? Because right now, let me tell you what I think the city is doing for me. Are you ready? In the wintertime, it seems as though your service is this. When it snows this much, you have your people come around and pile this much snow at the bottom of my driveway. If it's my driveway at the bottom below the sidewalk, I suggest you stop putting your snow there from the road. That's my property. And if it's your property, clean it. That's number one. Number two, you only pick up garbage every 2 weeks. Big garbage, only every 2 weeks. In fact, I've had to go back to school to get a secondary degree to understand the quadratic equation that has gone into how you decide what kind of garbage gets picked up on what day of what month of what side of the street. I can't understand it anymore. 3, are you in charge of water? Or is that just the water company? Isn't that part of where my taxes go? Because my water tastes like chlorine. I have to get a water purifier so that I don't feel like I'm drinking a pool. Is that on you? It seems as though you're dumping it in to hope sure. And it's just, look, it's ruining everybody's water. You need to fix that. Also, are parks your responsibility? The side of the road your responsibility? Because I have dandelions the size of oak trees. And I'll tell you what else. When Presley walks on it because he likes it and they all scrape against his undercarriage, you know what happens? He has a horrible allergic reaction. I end up back into the veterinarian. They have to give him medication. He's got some weird infection because he's allergic to everything because you guys all don't cut your grass. I'm sending you that bill next month if you don't pull it together. So either get it together, do a better job, or for the love of God, I don't know. I'm going to have some words, bigger ones than now.
Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching this video to the very end. I really appreciate you so much. Make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate you so much. And also leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I would love to see what you think about this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.